What if I told you Vegas just opened its most expensive resort ever, and no one showed up? You land for a weekend escape, roll your suitcase into Fontainebleau's crystal lobby, and expect that Miami-style sparkle. But instead of energy, you find silence. The casino hums softly, dealers wait with empty tables, and your footsteps echo off the marble floors. For tourists, it's not the Vegas they imagined, it's a luxury ghost town. Today, we're counting down 24 reasons why the Fontainebleau Las Vegas is so empty, and what it reveals about the future of the Strip. The dream that took 16 years to build. Back in 2007, Fontainebleau was supposed to be the crown jewel of the Strip, a glass tower reaching into the sky, filled with luxury and glamour. Then the 2008 crash hit, and everything froze. Cranes stopped mid-air, construction halted. By 2009, over $2 billion had vanished, and the project went bankrupt. Carl Icahn bought it for just $150 million, and later the Koch brothers tried to revive the dream. When it finally opened in late 2023, 16 years had passed. Vegas had changed. The center of energy shifted south. The city's tourists and locals already had favorites. Fontainebleau was brand new, but the Strip had moved on, and it felt like a beautiful hotel that arrived too late. The hotel at the edge of the Strip. Even if the hotel itself is stunning, its location works against it. Fontainebleau sits near Sahara and Circus in the North Strip dead zone. Step outside, and streets feel empty, sidewalks echo your steps, and neon lights flicker over few passers-by. Urban analysts at UNLV report foot traffic drops more than 40% north of Wynn, making it tough for any new resort to attract casual visitors. The old Riviera site nearby sits vacant, a reminder of opportunities that didn't last. Travel reporter Scott Robin sums it up: if you're not between Bellagio and Resorts World, you're invisible. Even the most expensive palace can't overcome isolation. Lobbies, casinos, and shops feel like a show without an audience. And the story of Fontainebleau starts here. Stunning, massive, and unseen. A palace that feels like a bank. Step inside and Fontainebleau is flawless. Marble floors shine, glass walls reflect endless light, chrome railings gleam. Designed by Morris Lapidus and updated by David Collins Studio, it's breathtaking. But there's a catch. The beauty impresses the eyes, not the soul. Early TripAdvisor reviews called it beautiful but emotionally dead. Architectural Digest echoed that sentiment. Stunning spaces don't make up for empty tables or quiet halls. Guests notice it immediately. Wide open spaces, cold colors, and perfectly polished surfaces only make the lack of energy feel worse. It's a palace meant to awe, yet it misses the core of Vegas: excitement, life, and the pull that keeps people spending. Fontainebleau has perfection, but no heartbeat. Luxury prices, empty tables. The emptiness of Fontainebleau's design meets another challenge: the price tag. You grab a menu, expecting a snack or drink, and the numbers shock you. $12 for coffee, $24 for nachos, $18 for cocktails. Fancy, yes, but out of touch with what most visitors are willing to pay. TikTok and social media blew up with mockery, calling it luxury markup with no luxury crowd. Eater Vegas critics pointed out the same problem. These prices mimic Wynn, but Fontainebleau doesn't have the legacy or loyal guests to justify them. Locals, who often give new resorts an early boost, mostly stayed away. Empty tables and quiet bars became the visual proof. The design dazzled, but the crowd didn't follow. And that emptiness from overpriced food and drinks started bleeding directly onto the casino floor. The next place we'll see the problem get even more obvious. The casino with no pulse. The casino should be the heart of any Vegas resort. Fontainebleau boasts 150,000 square feet, as big as Bellagio's, but walking through it feels strange. Slot machines whir softly, card tables wait silently, and even on weekends, cameras catch half-empty floors. Dealers told Casino.org that shifts drag with hardly any players. The music is soft, the lighting bright. Design choices meant to impress end up killing the energy. Without a crowd, even high-stakes tables look abandoned. The silence reinforces what you've seen in the restaurants and lobby. People aren't sticking around. And that's the pattern here. Everything was built big and beautiful, but nothing was built for fun. Fontainebleau wows the eyes, yet emptiness spreads. And it only grows as you move deeper into the resort. Designed for beauty, not fun. It's stunning. Every corner, marble, glass, art, looks perfect. But the perfection is static. Walk through the lobby or casino, and it feels like a museum. Quiet, controlled, elegant. Noise, chaos, and energy, the things that make Vegas come alive, are missing. Nightlife critic Melinda Shekels told KTNV News, "It feels like a luxury museum, not a party." In Vegas, the city thrives on sensory overload. Fontainebleau went the other way. Clean lines, polished surfaces, quiet elegance. The result is immediate. People don't linger, don't fill tables, don't shout or laugh. That visual beauty starts to work against the resort, creating a cascade effect. Empty lobbies lead to empty restaurants, which lead to empty casinos. And as you'll see in the next segments, this cold perfection becomes a recurring theme that keeps Fontainebleau eerily quiet. Lost in the spotlight, Vegas in 2023 and 2024 was full of headlines. Resorts World, the Sphere, and the Raiders Stadium were opening with big fanfare, grand shows, influencer events, media coverage everywhere. Fontainebleau, despite its $3.7 billion price tag, struggled to get noticed. Its PR push lagged behind. Few major events, almost no social media tie-ins, and hardly any coverage in travel blogs or news outlets. Within weeks, the spotlight had moved on, leaving Fontainebleau almost invisible to tourists and locals alike. People walked by asking, "What is this place?" And even seasoned Vegas visitors didn't stop in. Without hype, there's no buzz. Empty restaurants, quiet casinos, and unbooked rooms followed. Being lost in the city's attention is one of the biggest reasons this palace of luxury feels like a ghost town. A grand opening at the wrong time. Another reason Fontainebleau feels empty? Timing. It opened in December 2023, right when post-pandemic travel was still recovering. Visitors were cautious, budgets tighter, and hotels everywhere were fighting for attention. According to the LVCVA 2024 report, overall visitor volume was down 6% compared to pre-2020 levels. And the tourists who did come were spending more on shows, experiences, and casual dining, not luxury suites and high-end cocktails. Fontainebleau arrived hoping to dazzle, but the city and its visitors weren't ready. Even a billion-dollar resort struggles when the audience isn't in the mood for luxury. The timing was off, the expectations mismatched, and the result is empty halls and quiet tables. Bad timing meets a slowing market. Another reason Fontainebleau struggles was timing. It opened in December 2023, just as Vegas tourism was still recovering from post-pandemic slowdowns. According to the LVCVA 2024 report, overall visitor numbers were down 6% compared to pre-2020 levels. Tourists were cautious, spending more on shows, entertainment, and casual dining than on luxury suites or high-end cocktails. Even a billion-dollar brand-new resort can feel empty if the city's visitors aren't ready for it. Fontainebleau hoped to dazzle and attract attention, but the moment was off. The market wasn't prepared, budgets were tighter, and hotels everywhere were fighting for the same limited visitor base. Poor timing compounded its invisibility, leaving grand halls echoing and the casino floors half empty, reinforcing the perception that this massive strip palace couldn't find its crowd. Chasing millionaires in a middle-class town. Fontainebleau was built to lure the ultra-rich, Miami socialites, Dubai high rollers, and high-stakes gamblers who splash cash on everything from suites to bottles of champagne. On paper, it sounded perfect. In reality, Vegas in 2024 is mostly middle-income tourists. Statista reports 55% of visitors fall into that category. People who want fun, not exclusivity. Fontainebleau overestimated the demand for an exclusive playground and underestimated how important energy, crowd, and vibe are. Casinos thrive on volume. Locals playing daily, tourists spilling onto the floor, mid-tier visitors wandering restaurants and bars. By targeting only whales, Fontainebleau left most of its spaces empty. Tables sit unoccupied, elevators echo, and even grand lobbies feel quiet. This mismatch is a major reason the Strip Palace feels lifeless. The ghost mall of the Strip. Strolling through Fontainebleau's retail promenade feels like stepping into a time capsule. Rows of luxury stores gleam under chandeliers, but the aisles are empty. Review Journal called it eerily quiet. And it's easy to see why. Shoppers flock to Wynn Plaza or Caesars Forum instead. Even with designer brands lining the walls, there's no energy, no crowd, no buzz. Foot traffic is minimal, and the empty spaces echo off marble floors. In a city where retail thrives on spectacle and people watching, Fontainebleau's mall feels like a relic from a 2010s dream. Polished, ambitious, and completely alone. Without customers, even the most expensive brands can't create life. The result? A high-end shopping corridor that's more like a quiet hallway than a destination. The internet turned on it fast. Fontainebleau went viral, but not for the reasons anyone hoped. Within weeks of opening, clips of empty casino floors, silent restaurants, and ghostly hallways flooded TikTok and Instagram. One post summed it up perfectly. $3.7 billion resort with 3 guests. The contrast between the flashy exterior and the quiet inside became a punchline. Influencers skipped it, travel blogs barely covered it, and locals shrugged. Social media didn't just report the emptiness, it amplified it, turning a quiet launch into a meme. Perception drives traffic in Vegas. When the internet paints a resort as lifeless, the story sticks. Even carefully planned events or promotions struggled to reverse the narrative. By the time Fontainebleau tried to pull attention back, the meme had defined it. Empty, quiet, and famous for all the wrong reasons. The resort's silence had gone global, echoing louder than any slot machine ever could. A copy of everything, original in nothing. Step inside Fontainebleau and it feels like you've been here before. There's a touch of the cosmopolitan style, a hint of Wynn's elegance, and echoes of Bellagio's polish. But nothing feels unique. Nothing says, "This is Fontainebleau." Branding experts on Skift call it a collage, not a vision, and visitors notice immediately. Las Vegas thrives on wow moments, those surprises that pull you in, get people talking, and fill the casino floors. Fontainebleau's familiar design doesn't inspire excitement. Tourists stroll past, locals don't linger, and the empty gaming tables emphasize the problem. Copying the look of other hotels might work for pictures, but it doesn't create a heartbeat for a billion-dollar resort. Without its own identity, Fontainebleau feels empty, and the silence is impossible to ignore. Before we go to the top 10 reasons of why the Fontainebleau is empty, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Up next, we've got even bigger reasons coming up that explain why this $3.7 billion resort can't fill its halls. Cracks behind the curtain. Inside Fontainebleau, not everything shines like the marble floors. Staff whisper about constant changes. Managers leaving, directors switching every few months. Reddit threads and anonymous posts describe morale as rock bottom and chaotic. Guests notice it too. Check-in lines drag, servers seem distracted, and some services don't match the polished look on the brochure. Even small details like inconsistent housekeeping or delayed room service make the space feel less alive. In Vegas, energy matters as much as luxury. A quiet casino isn't just about empty seats, it's a symptom of instability. When leadership can't settle in, the vibe suffers, and that ripple hits every guest. No matter how big the lobby or shiny the art, a place without steady leadership feels hollow. And Fontainebleau's emptiness starts at the top. A money pit in disguise. On paper, Fontainebleau sparkles. In reality, it's bleeding cash. Analysts estimate the resort loses over $500,000 every single day just to keep lights on, staff paid, and machines running. Add in $2.2 billion in opening debt, and even a full casino floor wouldn't cover costs. Early 2024 occupancy hovered below 60%, meaning thousands of rooms sat empty each night. Restaurants and retail spaces struggled to fill tables and shoppers. It's a luxury palace built to impress, but underneath, it's a financial sinkhole. For investors, the glitter hides the bleeding. And for visitors, empty hallways, quiet dining rooms, and barren gaming floors make the resort feel lifeless. A hotel that costs billions to build shouldn't feel this empty. Yet Fontainebleau proves how money alone can't buy the vibe. Still not fully finished. Some parts of Fontainebleau never opened on schedule. Pools, shops, and even whole guest floors remained dark months after the grand opening. Guests posted videos of empty hallways, shuttered storefronts, and unfinished rooms. Las Vegas locally called it a half-built palace. And first impressions are everything in Vegas. Tourists expect a full experience from the start. A hotel can't charm with half the doors closed. Even the lobby, impressive on paper, feels incomplete when corridors lead nowhere, or restaurants sit empty behind locked doors. The sense of incompleteness amplifies the emptiness. A resort meant to wow instead feels paused, like the city forgot to hit play. And in a town that runs on hype, a hotel still under construction months after opening struggles to ever feel alive. Locals don't care to visit. In Vegas, locals are the heartbeat of a hotel's early success. They try new restaurants, check out bars, bring the energy before tourists arrive. Fontainebleau? The locals stayed away. No loyalty perks, no special events, and parking was a headache with steep fees. Without the local crowd, restaurants echo, casinos feel empty, and nightlife struggles to start. Reviewers noted the emptiness, but the real reason was invisible. The community never bonded with it. When the people who know the city best ignore a resort, tourists feel that absence too. Fontainebleau might be massive, it might be shiny, but without locals walking in the doors first, its pulse never started. And a hotel without a heartbeat just looks hollow. TikTok made it a meme. Another layer to this digital blowback, TikTok creators seized the emptiness and ran with it. Vegas Starfish, Las Vegas, locally, and countless other channels shared videos of vacant lobbies, untouched buffets, and dealers waiting for players who never came. Millions watched, laughed, and shared. The resort became a symbol of quiet luxury gone wrong. The silence wasn't just noticed in person, it was broadcast worldwide. Potential visitors saw the emptiness online before stepping through the doors, and that perception shaped reality. By the time the marketing team tried events or influencer tie-ins, the meme had already defined Fontainebleau. Social media didn't just capture emptiness, it turned it into the resort's defining feature, making even a $3.7 billion palace feel hollow. No one knows what it stands for. Fontainebleau looks stunning, but when you step inside, you might wonder, what is this place even for? A party? A family trip? A luxury getaway? Guests can't tell. Reviewers called it a stranger on the strip, and that emptiness sticks. Vegas thrives on story and energy. Without a vibe, restaurants feel quiet, pools feel empty, and the casino floor, lifeless. People leave confused, and friends ask, why would you go there? In a city built on hype and spectacle, being a stranger is deadly. Fontainebleau has the looks, but not the heartbeat. And if nobody feels it, nobody shows up. Wait till you hear why even its flashy lobby can't save it. Punching above its weight. Fontainebleau tried to go toe-to-toe with Bellagio, Wynn, and Aria, but it's like showing up to a fight without a punch. Those hotels have stories, loyal fans, and moments people remember. Fontainebleau has glass, marble, and size, but no soul. You walk in, look around, and think, why choose this one? Even a billion-dollar hotel can feel invisible without experiences that wow. Bellagio has fountains, Wynn has surprises, Aria has energy. Fontainebleau? Just quiet lobbies and empty tables. It's trying to compete, but the Strip doesn't reward ambition alone. And the next reason it's empty might surprise you. It's something most Vegas visitors never notice. Scandals before success. Fontainebleau didn't even get a chance to shine before trouble hit. In 2024, Resorts World claimed it poached executives, and the story blew up online. Vendors whispered about late payments, staff grumbled on Reddit, and PR tried to clean up a mess nobody could ignore. Guests noticed the tension. Empty tables, quiet floors, awkward energy. Instead of headlines about grand openings or luxury experiences, the news was lawsuits and drama. In Vegas, a hotel survives on excitement and buzz, not legal battles. And these early scandals planted a shadow over the resort, one that still keeps visitors away. But the next reason it's empty is even bigger. The curse of its Miami twin. Everyone knows Fontainebleau Miami Beach. Sinatra, Kennedy, legendary pool parties, non-stop glamour. Vegas borrowed the name, the style, even the blueprint, but forgot the soul. Critics said it was Fontainebleau in name only. Guests expecting Miami magic walked into a polished shell that looked like Vegas, not Miami. The glitz was there, but the energy, the history, the stories, missing. And Vegas punishes that. Borrow a name, but don't deliver the feeling, and you get emptiness. By the time visitors realized it wasn't the Miami magic they'd imagined, the casino, restaurants, and lobby were already echoing. And coming up, the number one reason it's empty, it might shock you. The billion-dollar hotel with no soul. Fontainebleau has everything you could dream of. Marble floors that gleam under chandeliers, glass elevators gliding past sparkling pools, 3,700 rooms stacked like a city, and restaurants designed by Michelin star chefs. Every corner screams luxury, but step inside and the silence hits first. Staff talk about entire shifts in lobbies that echo with footsteps instead of laughter. Dealers shuffle cards at tables that rarely see a hand played, bartenders polish glasses nobody orders from, and pools shimmer under the sun with no swimmers in sight. Guests wander halls admiring the architecture, taking selfies, but no one seems to stay. Vegas thrives on fantasy, energy, and chaos. People paying for a story they'll tell for years. Fontainebleau delivers perfection, but not life. It's not failing because it's poorly built. It's failing because it never built a heartbeat. Even with $3.7 billion spent, the largest suites, the flashiest art, the tallest towers, it's empty. Walking through it feels like touring a museum at night. Impressive, polished, but strangely lonely. The city has glamour, thrill, and soul. Fontainebleau has walls, lights, and silence. Vegas has always been about energy, chaos, and reinvention. But Fontainebleau proves what happens when a city forgets who it's for. Neon lights flicker over empty floors, footsteps echo where laughter should be, and the fantasy is gone. If you've been inside Fontainebleau, did it thrill you or leave you cold? Share your experience in the comments. And if this breakdown opened your eyes to why even a billion-dollar resort can fail, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Next, we're uncovering another Vegas gamble, a property that might already be on its own road to emptiness.